Today is Thursday, June 27. I'm Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Psalm 26. Vindicate me, Lord, for I have led a blameless life. I have trusted in the Lord and have not faltered. Test me, Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and my mind, for I have always been mindful of your unfailing love and have lived in reliance on your faithfulness. That's Psalm 26, verses 1 to 3. This psalm, like any number of others, gives us pause. Who of us would dare say such a thing to God as this? But while it might seem strange in ordinary times, there are situations that crop up in our lives where it's not, like in the face of a tragic death, a betrayal in a close relationship, or the cancer word when it crops up in our life. In those situations, we might quite naturally find ourselves crying out to God, asking what it is that we have done to deserve such pain and suffering being thrust into our lives. Prayers like that are ways of praying in the vein of Psalm 26. Some events and realities in our lives are bigger than us, out of our control. Perhaps more of them than we might think or like to list. And when we realize our lack of control, we realize that we have need of God, a God who can save us, or in unfair or unjust situations, a God who can judge rightly and vindicate us, which is salvation all the same. This psalm is a prayer prayed in the face of an evil world that dishes out things that we do not deserve and cannot solve on our own strength. And this is a psalm that does what it says, that relies on God fully and solely for vindication and for salvation. It strikes me more often that this is exactly the life Jesus lived. Even though he had all the power and ability to control on his side, he did not wield it against his oppressors, the Sanhedrin and Romans that condemned and crucified him. He could have saved himself from them, but he did not. He could have appealed to his popularity and the masses who supported him to stage a coup, but he did not. He could have vindicated himself, but he did not. Instead, he gave up his power and control, humbled himself, and submitted himself and his case to the just judgment of God the Father, the one who holds the power of final judgment and the right to overturn human verdicts. God the Father took up the appeal, vindicating Jesus by raising him from the dead on the third day, proving Jesus' innocence and righteousness in the process. This is the Jesus that we trust in, the Jesus whose life, righteousness, and vindication have become our own. As we continue to rely on his vindication and salvation, we remain connected with the reality of things. We need God. Our life is a gift from God. And God's invitation is that our life be lived in congruence with the righteousness of Christ that we have received from God. We cannot control the events or realities that we face in this world, but whether we face health scares or other forms of injustice or tragedy in our lives, we can entrust ourselves to the God who in Christ has saved us and who will continue to save us. As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness and protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.